Good evening. Welcome inside the Army Softball Complex. It's a midweek contest between the Black Knights and the Stags of Fairfield University. Zach Daly with you on ESPN Plus. The Black Knights returning home after a weekend on the road at Holy Cross. The Black Knights looking to get back towards their winning ways after having a few road bumps in Worcester, Massachusetts. They'll send Emily Iannotti to the mound today to start for the Black Knights, as Iannotti finishing up her warm-up pitches. Haley Updegraff will lead off for the Fairfield Stags, the right-handed hitting right fielder. As we're set, Iannotti is ready, so is Updegraff, as the sun sets over the left field fence here right on the Hudson River. First pitch from Iannotti is upstairs, 1-0 the count to Updegraff.
Haley Updegraff.
Haley Updegraff is a .333 hitter on the season, 3 home runs and 11 RBIs. She's facing Iannotti, 7-3 on the year, a called strike. Ball and a strike. As the 1-1 is in there for a strike. 1-2. Iannotti on the year, 4.48 ERA, 2-2. She's starting our 12th game of the season. The 2-2 on the white. 3-2. A chilly day here. A rare 6 p.m. start. Grounded into left field. It's going to be a leadoff single for Updegraff. Past a diving Dones at third.
Number 3, Charlie Warren.
That'll bring up Charlie Warren. Fairfield with the leadoff runner aboard. They look to bunt as the bunt pulled back as Warren takes a pitch high out of the zone, 1-0. Fairfield coming in with a 17-20 record on the year. Army 18-27. 1-0. Inside 2-0. Iannotti steps back in. Wind again blowing heavy off the river. This one popped too short over the leaping attempt of Little at short. It's going to drop in for a base hit. Back-to-back singles.
Caitlin Hoffman.
Then an excuse me single. Little is playing into guard against the bunt, and it just got over the leaping attempt at short. That'll bring up Caitlin Hoffman, the center fielder. Iannotti in a jam early. Deals a strike, 0-1. Iannotti deals the 0-1 in the dirt. Blocked behind the plate by Wilkes. Ball and a strike. As Hoffman with a .248 average on the year, the 1-1 called strike, 1-2. 1-2. In the dirt, Wilkes knocks it down, and he'll throw down to third. Runners advance on the wild pitch. So now second and third. Count 2-2 as Ionati still looking for the first out of the inning. Deals the 2-2. This one's lifted into right center field. Diving attempt. Gets past Edwards in right. It'll go to the wall as 2 runs will score. And Fairfield, just like that, up 2-0 on the RBI double by Caitlin Hoffman. And the Stags strike first.
Megan Forbes.
That'll bring up Megan Forbes. Forbes, a .232 hitter with a home run and 10 RBI on the season. And the meeting already. Fairfield 2 runs across here in the first. Forbes in the cleanup spot with another RBI chance. Off speed, a called strike. 0-1. Ionati's done a good job of throwing strike one, but as the count has gone on, these Fairfield hitters have hung in tough and found a pitch to hit. Only one real hard hit ball though. 1-1. Ionati deals the 1-1. Fouled back, 1-2. The 1-2 on the way, outside. 2-2. Ionati deals the 2-2. Grounded foul. Again, the 2-2 on the way. Fouled back. Fairfield hanging tough against Ionati early. Two. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. As they get the put out at first. Hoffman advances to third.
17, Casey Sakula.
That'll bring up Casey Sakula. 1 down in the top of the first. Ionati deals up and away, 1-0. Sakula, a $157 on the season. Weak hack, 1-1. One on the way from Ionati, upstairs 2-1. We saw this on Easter in Game 2. The glare we'll see as the sun sets over the left field wall as the pitch dealt downstairs 3-1. Is that going to play, especially if you're a right-handed batter? It could really cause problems. 3-1, ball 4. Lefties, it won't be as bad. It'll still be there a bit, but it's the right-handed batters who the glare could be causing problems for, as we'll have our first coach's visit as Jen Consul heads out to talk to Iannotti. There is action down the line for the Black Knights. Iannotti has gotten 1 strikeout. That'll bring up Michaela Rubin with the runners on the corners and 1 down. Rubin bunts. Iannotti over to first. That gets the run in.
The sacrifice successful, 1-3. Give Rubin an RBI and give Fairfield a 3-0 lead.
I'll bring up the catcher, Drew Westford. Now with 2 down, Westford fouls it into the net. We don't want to have another incident of what happened against Fordham last week. For those of you who are unaware, the press box window was shattered when Maddie Wilkes fouled one over the net on a perfect arc into the press box window right near where public address sits, 1-1 upstairs. Almost had a couple more that game, and I know Jimmy Belladone and facilities were not too happy with it, but what are you going to do? 1-1 on the way from Iannotti. Just upstairs, 2-1. Two one in the dirt, 3-1, stopped by Wilkes. Iannotti a pitch away from issuing her second walk of the inning. Three one. Slap the other way, diving attempt by Edwards out in right. It's going to fall for a base hit. And an RBI single for Drew Westford.
Number 15, Morgan.
Sakula scores from second.
And it's 4-0 Fairfield here in the first. That'll bring up Morgan Silvestri. Silvestri, the designated hitter. She fouls it back. Oh, 0-1 the count.
Silvestri, a freshman batting 139 on the year.
5 hits and 36 at bats. 0-1. Just missed outside, 1-1. Grounded hard, but foul. 1-2 the count to Silvestri. Iannotti deals. Misses just below the knees, 2-2. A windy day as some of the dirt from the diamond starting to whip up into the press box. 2-2. Lifted, dropped over at first. Everyone's safe. That's going to be an E3 on Leela Hurst.
And it's a Murphy's Law inning for the Black Knights.
Number 12, Madison Robichaux.
That'll bring up the shortstop, Madison Robichaux, as Fairfield is batted round here in the top of the first. Iannotti deals. Wilkes catches it, throw down, not in time. All the runners advance.
That's going to be a passed ball.
Runner was not going on the pitch, so you got to score it somehow. And Wilkes just bobbled it briefly behind the plate, and now another RBI chance for Robichaux and the Fairfield Stags, 1-1. Four nothing, top of the first, and a base hit here could really break this one open. 1-1. Outside, pitch gets away. Runners will move up, and another run scores. Westford on the pass ball comes home.
And Silvestri goes to third,
5-0. Count 2-1. Up and away. Three and one to Madison Robichaux. Up next is Haley Updegraff. She led off the inning with a base hit to left. 2-1. Grounded to third. Snagged by Dones over to first, and the inning is over. A big inning for the Fairfield Stags. They score 5 runs on 4 hits. They leave 1 half inning in the book. 5-0 Fairfield as we head to the bottom of the first. You're watching Patriot League Softball on ESPN+.
Today, I'm a captain on the Army West Point football team. Tomorrow, I strive to lead winning teams.
Today, I study to excel in the classroom. Tomorrow, I can reach for the stars.
Today, I am leading cadets during summer training. Tomorrow, I will be ready to lead soldiers on the battlefield.
Today, I lead with character as the brigade commander. Tomorrow, my possibilities are endless.
West Point, where leaders are made.
It's not really about the notes. I want them to find the music and make it their own.
I will push you. I will test you. I'll demand everything you've got. What do you get? Everything I have.
Leading off the Black Knights at this
Bottom
hitter,
of
number
the
15,
first
Julie
inning, Army
Duong.
in a 5-0 hole. Jolie Dwangle lead off for the Black Knights. Kayla Edwards will bat second in right field. Leela Hurst batting third. She'll play first. Maddie Wilkes will bat cleanup. She's doing the catching. Lauren Little at short batting fifth. Micah Dones at third batting sixth. Juliana LaRusso in left batting seventh. Ellie Caldwell at second batting eighth. And Brooke Mitchell rounding out the order. She will bat ninth. as they will face Katie Kudlakik. She deals a strike. 0-1. Duong, the senior designated player, goes the other way. Fly ball to left, caught by Warren, 1 out.
The right fielder, number 3.
Kudlakik, a 7-3 record on the year for Fairfield. She's got a 3.68 ERA. It's her 12th start of the year. She's gone 80 2/3 innings, now 81 innings with that out. Given up 71 hits, 38 runs, 33 of them earned. Strikeouts 58, walks 36. Fly ball center field. Hoffman back, makes the catch, 2 up, 2 down.
First baseman, number 10, Leela Hurst.
As that will bring up Leela Hurst. And opponents hitting .228 against Kudlakik. Hurst, 304 on the season. A team high 28 RBI. Kudlakik, 3 pitches, 2 outs. Deals outside. The 1-0, lined foul. Kudlakik's 1-1. Off the helmet, and that's why you wear them. As Hurst shakes it off.
The catcher, number 28.
She heads down to
Maddie
first.
Wilkes.
Home plate umpire Nicholas Grasso goes out. Just a quick word with Kudlakik, probably just to give Hurst an extra second after she got her bell rung on the hit by pitch. That'll bring up Maddie Wilkes, the window breaker. She deals, or she takes a pitch outside, I should say. Wilkes, 296, 2 home runs, 18 RBI on the year. 1-0. Grounded to short. The throw off the bag. And Wilkes will be safe along with Hurst.
The shortstop, number 22, Lauren Little.
That'll bring up Lauren Little, the shortstop.
Army looking to make a dent in this 5-0 lead as Little swings and foul tips it into the glove of Westford behind the plate. 0-1. Just misses. One. Upstairs 2-1 as Little's able to hold. Pitch in there for a strike. Two, just misses 3-2. Pitch in the dirt, ball 4, bases loaded.
The third baseman, number 1, Micah Dones.
That'll bring up Micah Dones.
This one slapped right to first, caught on the fly,
And Dones is retired for the final out of the inning. The Black Knights leave the bases loaded after 1 inning of play. It's Fairfield 5 and Army nothing. We're heading to the second. You're watching Patriot League
Ladies and
Softball
gentlemen,
on
that happened in
ESPN+.
play. There were 0 runs.
We love our new apartment.
There's too much pressure in the bathroom.
Good luck with the future, huh?
Lucky for me, there's some great golf here in the Carolinas. Whether you golf or not, Geico could help you score.
I love my new home, but it might be too Victorian.
Gosh, interesting hemline on this.
Lucky for me, there's some great golf here in the Carolinas. Whether you golf or not, Geico could help you score. Oh, hole in one.
Geico. See all the ways you could save.
More?
Want more?
Phillies, Mets, division rivals aim to make a statement on Sunday Night Baseball.
Back at the Army Softball Complex, the new pitcher for the Black Knights is Olivia Farris, as Iannotti, she can re-enter the game, but only went the inning to this point in the game. 1-0 from Farris. They called strike. Up to Graff. One, fouled back. 1-2. Farris, the freshman righty, deals the 1-2, just outside. 2-2. Grounded to short. Little over to first in time for the first out of the inning. Up to Graff is retired 6-3.
Number 3, Charlie Warren.
That'll bring up Charlie Warren. Warren with the excuse me single over the head of Little the first time up. Farris deals down 1-0. Upstairs 2-0. Farris deals. A called strike. 2 balls and 1 strike to Charlie Warren, the Fairfield left fielder. Farris on the year, her 17th appearance. As Farris deals the 3-1. Just misses outside, ball 4.
Number 23, Caitlin Hoffman.
That will bring up Caitlin Hoffman. A called strike. Ferris steals the 0-1. Up and in, 1-1. 5-0 Fairfield, top of the second inning. Hoffman steps back in. 1-1, fouled off. Off towards the Hudson. Ball and 2 strikes to Caitlin Hoffman. Ferris deals the 1-2, grounded to second. And they get the force at second as Caldwell went to Little.
Number 6, Megan Forbes.
That'll bring up Megan Forbes with 2 down. Ferris deals up and away to Forbes. 1-0 the count. Forbes a strikeout victim in the first. Ferris deals. That's going to be slapped into right field. It's going to be a base hit. Cut off at the line and holding Forbes to a single as Edwards gets the ball in. Hoffman goes first to third.
Number 17, Casey Sekula.
That'll bring up Casey Sekula to keep the inning going for Fairfield. It's a chilly day here. As mentioned earlier, the wind coming off the Hudson rather strong today. Even though it's been spring for about a month, it still feels like winter right now. Pitch lifted into right. Edwards is right there to make the catch as Army gets out of the inning without giving up a run. Ferris leaves 2 runners on as we head to the bottom of the second inning. 5-0 Fairfield. We'll be back. You're watching Patriot League Softball on ESPN.
There were 0 runs, 1 hit.
Lucky for me, there's some great golf here in the Carolinas. Whether you golf or not, Geico could help you score some great savings on car insurance. Whoa! Oh, hole in one.
Geico. See all the ways you could save.
More?
Want more?
Oh, I want ice cream.
Seriously?
I'm gonna drive to get my ice cream.
No, you're not. Play with this.
No, I'm driving.
Really? Drinking and driving? How old are you?
I'm a big boy.
One pitcher already done in the inning. Giuliano LaRusso at a slow rolling infield single. That'll bring up Ellie Caldwell. Ellie Caldwell, the second baseman. Brooke Mitchell due up next. First pitch misses for a ball. Caldwell, 214 hitter on the season. Pitch on the way, bunted foul. Kudlakik dealing with the leadoff single. What could not have been a slower bouncer to the pitcher. And Kudlakik had to charge, turn, and by the time she turned, she had no throw. One on the way. Fouled straight back, 1-2. Kudlakik's 1-2. Outside 2-2. Grounded foul at the plate. Caldwell fouls it off her leg. Making sure Caldwell is okay. Caldwell back in, 2-2. Grounded into right field. It's a base hit, and the Black Knights with back-to-back singles. And they're in business here in the bottom of the second.
Center fielder number 8, Brooke Mitchell.
That'll bring up Brooke Mitchell. Mitchell with 2 on and nobody out. A bunt at the plate, fouled back. Mitchell bunts again. A perfect bunt. Sacrifice successful, 5-4. Since the second baseman was covering first. As back to Jolie Duong at the top of the order. Runners on second and third. Duong with a prime RBI chance. Grounds it back to the pitcher. The throw not in time, as Kudlakik had to freeze to get the runner.
The right fielder, number 3, Kayla
That's going to go in the book as a hit. Kayla Edwards with the bases loaded and a chance to get Army right back in this game with one swing of the bat. Edwards, 345 on the season. She's got a really good bat at the plate, and she's got the bases loaded. Kudlakik deals. Lined into right center field. That's going to split the gap and go all the way to the wall. 2 runs will score as they'll hold Duong at third. It's an RBI double for Edwards. The Black Knights back in this one. Fairfield leads 5-2.
First base, number 10, Leela Hurst.
That'll bring up Leela Hurst. As we will get a visit
to the mound. Now, Fairfield is known to make a lot of substitutions. That's direct words from the head coach as well. And none of these balls have really been hard hit. You had the leadoff hitter, LaRusso, couldn't have hit it more than 10 feet. Just perfect placement, too late for Kudlakik to do anything. Caldwell got a ground ball through the infield, then a sac bunt, then Duong right back to the pitcher, but Kudlakik had to freeze the runner at third. By the time she threw the first, too late. She was safe, and then the only hard hit ball was Kayla Edwards in the gap to right center field. So Leela Hurst, she represents the tying run here in the second. Kudlakik deals inside. 1-0. Wind starting to now blow in from left field. The 1-0 on the way. Grounded. Through. It's going to squeak into right field for a base hit. Here comes Edwards. The throw, they got her hung up between third and home. Edwards will sacrifice herself, and getting all the way to third base will be Hurst. So it's an RBI single. Duong scored. Edwards is out trying to score. I'll let Mackenzie Collier give me the official scoring on that. She's out. That's all I know. It is an RBI single for Hurst. She advances to third on the rundown. 5-3 here in the second for Maddie Wilkes. Pitch in the dirt, 1-0. Wilkes called strike 1-1. So the put out on that goes 9-2-5-3. 1-1. Fly ball, tailing foul off the end of the bat. 1-2. So Army right back in this game. They trail 5-3. One, two. Outside. 2-2. The 2-2 just misses 3-2. We're in the bottom of the second. 5-3 Fairfield. Army threatening though. Kayla Edwards with a big 2 RBI double. Payoff pitch. She went around, and they're going to ring up Maddie Wilkes on strikes. But the Black Knights get back in this game. They trail 5-3 after 2 innings of play. We'll be back. You're watching Patriot League Softball on ESPN+.
More? Want more?
Check out this Verbo.
Oh man, look at me. Here I am, right where I belong. It's all I've been looking for. more and so much more. And now I'm here, now you're here. Nothing can go wrong, 'cause I am right where I belong.
Michaela Rubin takes a strike to lead off the top of the third. 5-3. Fairfield on top of Army. Pitch upstairs. 1-1. Rubin had a sacrifice in the first, drove in a run, fouled off 1-2. Farris is back out for inning number 2 after she replaced Ionati, who had a tough first inning. Sun just about to go over the mountains in the distance, but for the next 5 minutes, everyone will be squinting, facing the outfield. 1-2, or 2-2, I should say. The 2-2. Fouled at the plate, rolls backwards. Count will remain at 2-2. Farris gets the sign. Her 2-2. Line foul. Rubin couldn't keep it fair, a little too quick. That one grounded back to the pitcher. Farris over to first. 1 down.
Number 9, Drew Westford.
I'll bring up the catcher, Drew Westford. Drove in a run on a single. Pitch is upper part of the zone, a called strike. 0-1. Farris steals the 0-1 downstairs. 1-1. The 1-1 just misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Drew Westford. Farris deals, fouled back. Two balls and 2 strikes to the Fairfield catcher here in the top of the third inning. 1 down. 5-3 Stags lead. 2-2. 3-2 upstairs. The payoff. High fly ball down the left field line. Over to make the catch in foul territory is LaRusso. 2 down.
Number 15, Morgan Silvestri.
That'll bring up Morgan Silvestri. Silvestri reached on an E3. Pitch outside, 1-0. Farris deals the 1-0, a called strike. One and one to count. Hangs one outside, 2-1. Farris looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Deals up and away, 3-1. Pitch a called strike. And the count full, 3-2. Farris dealing to Silvestri. High pop-up. That'll make the seats. Count will remain 3-2. I get worried every time a ball is fouled back this way now. Three-two. That'll be fouled off. Out of play. The count remains full at 3-2. This one slapped down the third baseline. Foul. Count remains full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the third. Farris gets set and deals. Foul back again. Oh, just missed another window. So if you take a look, you see the open window. That's where we are. 2 windows down to the left. That's where the window was broken. That foul ball missed 2 more feet down to the left, just sailing over the press box wide. So again, this is West Point, so hopefully we can find some glass that's shatterproof as it's grounded to third for the final out of the inning. As Dones goes across the diamond, a 1-2-3 inning. Silvestri finally retired. 2.5 innings in the books. It's Fairfield 5 and Army 3. You're watching Patriot League Softball on ESPN+.
Today, I'm a captain on the Army West Point football team. Tomorrow, I strive to lead winning teams.
Today, I study to excel in the classroom. Tomorrow, I can reach for the stars.
Today, I am leading cadets during summer training. Tomorrow, I will be ready to lead soldiers on the battlefield.
Today, I lead with character as the brigade commander. Tomorrow, my possibilities are endless.
West Point, where leaders are made.
It's not really about the notes. I want them to find the music and make it their own.
I will push you. I will test you. I'll demand everything you've got. What do you get? Everything I have.
The Patriot League is dedicated to the development of the student athlete through excellence in athletic competition, challenging academics, and contributing within their communities. The League's mission is to promote leadership while encouraging and celebrating our student athletes for standing against racism and using their voices for positive social change. We are today's scholar athletes. We are tomorrow's leaders. We are the Patriot League.
Zach Daly back on ESPN Plus. 2-0 the count to Little. 3-0 in the dirt. Kudlakic out for inning number 3. 5-3 Fairfield here in the bottom of the third inning. All 5 of the Stag runs coming in the top of the first. Armory answering with 3 runs last inning. 3-0. Now the count's 3-1. Thought it was 3-0, but one pitch called a strike there in that sequence. 3-1. Now 3-2. Payoff pitch on the way. Called strike 3 outside corner. Little down looking for the first out of the inning.
The third baseman, number 1, Micah Dones.
That'll bring up Micah Dones, the third baseman here in the bottom of the third. 1 down. A strike to Micah Dones. She lined out to first to end the bottom of the first inning. Slapped foul. Outside, 1-2. Two and two as Kudlakic deals up and away. Lifted into right. Shallow right. Not being able to make the play diving there was Rubin. She might have even tripped over the lip of the infield. That's going to fall in for a base hit.
The left fielder, number 18, Juliana LaRusso.
That'll bring up LaRusso. Pitch in the dirt. That's going to allow Dones to scamper down to third on the wild pitch. It gets all the way towards the Army dugout. A wild pitch allows Dones to go first to third. As we're going to have a visit to the mound. So Fairfield up 5-3, but ever since the top of the first, the Black Knights have been chipping away at that Fairfield lead and has fought their way right back in this game. So as Kudlakic has to deal with a runner on third, she's got a 2-run lead to work with. Fouled off. One on the way. Upstairs to LaRusso, 2-1. Kudlakic deals, grounded to third. They freeze the runner. The throw across the diamond. And Sakula retires LaRusso. Does not get the run in 2 down.
Number 23, Ellie Caldwell.
That will bring up Ellie Caldwell. Kudlakic deals in the dirt, blocked by Westford behind the plate, 1-0. Caldwell singled and scored last inning. The 1-0, grounded right back to Kudlakic. She knocks it down. The throw dropped at first. A run will score. It's 5-4.
The center fielder, number 8, Brooke Mitchell.
And that's an error, and it's going to be an E3. It was just a matter of if it's going to be on the pitcher or on the first baseman. So Army within 1, 5-4 now in the bottom of the third. A called strike. The 0-1. 0-2. Mitchell sacrificed the runners over in the bottom of the second inning. Grounded foul. The 0-2. Slapped foul. As the count remains 0-2 on Brooke Mitchell. The 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Mitchell is down for the final out of the inning, but Army gets another run. It is now 5-4 Fairfield after 3 innings. The Black Knights have fought their way within 1. We're heading to the top of the 4th. You're watching Patriot League Softball on ESPN+.
I love my new home, but it might be too Victorian.
Gosh, interesting hemline on this. Pounds?
At least Geico makes bundling my home and car insurance easy. I save so much.
Pardon me, Your Grace.
Oh, just call me Grace.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
More?
Want more?
I want ice cream.
Seriously?
I'm gonna drive to get my ice cream.
No, you're not. Play with this.
No, I'm driving.
Really? Drinking and driving? How old are you?
I'm a big boy.
Zach Daly back at the Army softball complex. Madison Robichaux leading off in the top of the fourth inning for the Stags. Farris deals upstairs. Count 1-0. Robichaux grounded to third to end the top of the first. Grounds it to Little. One down. Nice stretch by Hurst at first for the first out of the inning.
Number 5, Haley Updegraff.
That'll bring up Haley Updegraff. Updegraff 1 for 2. A leadoff single in the first and scored in that inning. Grounded to short her last time up. Other way, Edwards won't get there, but it falls foul. As Updegraff steps back in. Oh, 1. Lined into left center field. That's going to be a base hit. Cut off by LaRusso. A big turn at first by Updegraff. She slides back in safely. A good job by LaRusso to hold Updegraff to a single. And that will bring up Charlie Warren. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Count 0-1. Just outside. 1-1 the count to Warren. The 0-1, grounded foul. Warren, 1 for 1 with a single, a run scored, and a walk so far this evening. The count 1-2. The 1-2. Just a bit outside. The count 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Lined into center. Mitchell comes on. 2 down. That'll bring up Caitlin Hoffman.
Number 23, Caitlin Hoffman.
Hoffman drove in 2 runs back in the first. Takes a pitch out of the zone. She reached on a fielder's choice last inning. We're in the top of the fourth. Fairfield leading 5-4. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Runner goes. The throw down gets into, very shallow center. Knocked down enough by Little as Caldwell will chase it down. 1-1.
Farris is 1-1. Lifted into left center field. Mitchell makes the catch, and the side is retired here in the fourth. Fairfield leads 5-4. We're halfway home here on a Wednesday evening. We'll be back. You're watching Patriot League Softball on ESPN.
Oh, I've travelled all over, telling folks they could save by bundling home and car insurance. But here's the real secret. Eye contact. We just had a moment.
Geico.
More?
Want more?
Oh, I want ice cream.
Seriously?
I'm gonna drive to get my ice cream.
No, you're not. Play with this.
No, I'm driving.
Really? Drinking and driving? How old are you?
I'm a big boy.
Leading off for the Army Black Knights, the designated hitter.
New
15,
pitcher for the Fairfield
Julie
Stags is
Duong.
Maddie Wilson. Wilson replaces Katie Kudlakik, as I'm sure there are more changes out there that we're trying to confirm right now. Might be the only one. What might have happened is there might have been changes with the DP, the flex player, and as Wilson deals to Duong, a strike as the dust storm comes across the infield. Count 0-1 to Jolie Duong. Duong 1 for 2. In the dirt, outside, 1-1. Wilson deals the 1-1, fouled off. Maddie Wilson, a junior. One, 2. Hangs it outside, 2-2. Maddie Wilson deals to Jolie Duong. High pop up in foul territory. Making the catch is Sakula for the first out here in the bottom of the fourth.
Kayla Edwards.
That'll bring up Kayla Edwards. Down and in, 1-0 to Kayla Edwards. She had the big 2 RBI double last inning. Lined into center. Drifting back is Hoffman for the second out. And that will bring up Leela Hurst.
The first baseman, number 10, Leela Hurst.
Hurst takes a strike. Oh, and 1 to Leela Hurst. 0-2.
Wilson deals the 0-2. Outside. Ball and 2 strikes to Leela Hurst. One, 2. Just misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 on the way. Lifted foul. The 2-2, grounded to second, knocked down, staying with it is Rubin to make the play at first for the final out of the inning. A 1-2-3 inning for Fairfield, their first of the game. We're through 4. It's 5-4 Stags. We'll be back. You're watching Patriot League Softball on ESPN+.
After 4 complete innings.
It's not really about the notes. I want them to find the music and make it their own.
I will push you. I will test you. I'll demand everything you've got. What do you get? Everything I have.
Today, I'm a captain on the Army West Point football team. Tomorrow, I strive to lead winning teams.
Today, I study to excel in the classroom. Tomorrow, I can reach for the stars.
Today, I am leading cadets during summer training. Tomorrow, I will be ready to lead soldiers on the battlefield.
Today, I lead with character as the brigade commander. Tomorrow, my possibilities are endless. West Point, where leaders are made.
The Patriot League is dedicated to the development of the student athlete through excellence in athletic competition, challenging academics, and contributing within their communities. The League's mission is to promote leadership while encouraging and celebrating our student athletes for standing against racism and using their voices for positive social change. We are today's scholar athletes. We are tomorrow's leaders. We are the Patriot League.
Zach Daly back at the Army softball complex. Megan Forbes leading off for the Fairfield Stags. As we're just trying to make sure, because it looks like there will be some changes coming. So, new left fielder and center fielder. So Forbes against Farris. Swing and a miss. So Brooke Mitchell replaced by Casey Donaldson. LaRusso goes from left to center, and Donaldson takes over and left. The count 0-2 on Forbes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Forbes down for out number 1.
Number 17, Casey Sekula.
That'll bring up Casey Sekula. Sekula takes a pitch outside 1-0. She's 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. The 1-0. Swung on and missed. Count, ball and a strike to Sekula. Just outside, 2-1. Ferris, she came in the second and has pitched excellent. Fouled out of play. Might have been off the Fairfield bus. Count 2-2 on Sakula. We're in the top of the 5th inning. 5-4 Fairfield leads. In the dirt, full count 3-2. Army taking on BU this weekend in a pivotal Patriot League series. BU on a 16-game winning streak, I believe, one of the longest in the country. As this one is lifted foul, it'll head out of play. Games on Saturday. Doubleheader will be here on ESPN+. The soothing sounds of Rich DeMarco will be taking you through as Rich DeMarco makes his famed return. BU is, 23 in a row for the BU Terriers. And again, it will be the voice of the Black Knights, Rich DeMarco, on the call for that. So everyone can tune in for that treat as a single by Sakula up the middle. A 1-out base hit. Might be Rich's first ever softball game as well, so everyone tune in.
Number 8, Michaela Rubin.
That'll bring up Michaela Rubin, and we might have a pinch runner. As Sakula will be replaced by Ava Cohen.
Your attention, please. Pinch running, number 7, Ava Cohen.
So Cohen will take over for Sakula. Pitch inside to Rubin. 1-0. Pitch catches the top part of the zone. 1-1. One ball, one strike, 1 out. Lined into left field. It's going to dunk in for a base hit. Donaldson will field it on a hop. Back-to-back singles as Cohen advances to second.
Number 9, Drew Westford.
That'll bring up the catcher, Drew Westford. This is the first real jam Ferris has been in for a while. Fouled into the net. 0-1. Pitch on the way. Bunted foul. Count 0-2 on Westford after the foul bunt. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 down.
Number 15.
That'll bring up Morgan Silvestri. Silvestri is 0 for 2, but did reach on an error back in the first. Fouled back. Count 0-1. Pitch upstairs, 1-1. One on one the count to Silvestri. Farris trying to get out of this first and second 2-on jam. In the dirt, 2-1. Army trailing 5-4 here in the top of the 5th. High pop-up on the infield as Hurst all the way in to make the catch for the final out. 5-4 Army after 4.5 innings. We'll be back. You're watching Patriot League Softball on ESPN.
PTI, I need the PDF, COB, aka EOD. What's the ETA?
ASAP, FYI. See my IM?
TLDR.
What?
Too long, didn't read.
We don't need any more acronyms, but we could all use more ways to save.
PNX, YOLO!
I want ice cream.
Seriously?
I'm gonna drive to get my ice cream.
No, you're not. Play with this.
No, I'm driving.
Really? Drinking and driving? How old are you?
I'm a big boy.
The BK $5 Your Way meal is here to make your choice easy and so tasty. Go straight to the Double Whopper Jr. with piping hot small fries, 4-piece crispy nuggets, and a refreshing small drink. Can you believe you get all this for only $5? The $5 Your Way meal, only at Burger King.
Matty Wilkes leads off, takes a strike from Matty Wilson here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 0-1 the count to Matty Wilkes. 0 for 2 on the evening. Up and away, 1-1. The 1-1. Got her on the off-speed pitch, 1-2. One, two. High fly ball, center field. Hoffman is there. She makes the catch. 1 down. That'll bring up the shortstop, Lauren Little.
22, Lauren Little.
Little is 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. Wilson got her with the fastball, 0-1. Wilson deals the 0-1. 1-1 in the dirt. Wilson deals the 1-1, fouled into the net. Ball and 2 strikes to Maddie Wilkes. Grounded to third. Tough hop, Sakula across the diamond. Well positioned at third, Sakula across the diamond. 2 down
Third baseman,
for Micah Dones.
Micah Dones.
Micah Dones is 1 for 2. She scored back in the third. Hangs a pitch high, 1-0. The 1-0. 2-0, up and away. Dones will be followed by LaRusso if she gets on. Line down the left field line, but foul. 2-1. Wilson back in. 2-1. Outside 3-1. Grounded to second. Rubin is there. Makes the throw to first for the final out of the inning. A 1-2-3 inning for Maddie Wilson and the Fairfield Stags. We're through 5. It's Fairfield 5 and Army 4. You're watching Patriot League Softball on ESPN+.
Lucky for me, there's some great golf here in the Carolinas. Whether you golf or not, Geico could help you score some great savings on car insurance. Whoa! Oh, hole in one.
Geico. See all the ways you could save.
I want ice cream.
Seriously?
I'm gonna drive to get my ice cream.
No, you're not. Play with this.
No, I'm driving.
Really? Drinking and driving? How old are you?
I'm a big boy.
The BK $5 Your Way meal is here to make your choice easy and so tasty. Go straight to the Double Whopper Jr. with piping hot small fries, 4-piece crispy nuggets, and a refreshing small drink. Can you believe you get all this for only $5? The $5 Your Way meal, only at Burger King.
Zach Daly back at the Army Softball Complex. 5-4 Fairfield in the top of the 6th inning. Couple of changes. Jolie Duong, the new pitcher for the Black Knights. Michaela Klepfer, the new catcher for Army.
Leading off for the Stags, number 12, Madison Robichaux.
It's going to be Madison Robichaux, the shortstop to lead off for Fairfield here in the top of the 6th inning. I think they're trying to figure out the light situation here. So the 2 lights in the outfield are on, but the two on the infield are currently not. And trying to sort through that issue right now as it is getting dark out. As you can see, the outfield well lit, and you can see that from the home plate angle, but a little bit darker at home plate. As there you can see how once you get to second base, it is much, the visibility is much better. Cut the music. They're asking for the music cut. As there we go, got it in. As head coach Cheryl Milligan's on the phone, trying to sort through the issue. So, working with the lighting issue here at the Army softball complex. We'll see if they're able to get those lights on. I don't. Now, there were some power issues here right before the game, to the point where the scoreboard wasn't even working until about 15 minutes before the game started. As you can probably get through the top of the it's towards the bottom of the sixth when the lighting will get iffy. Now, if you're Fairfield, you're probably arguing, "Oh, we can't play, we can't play." You've played 5 full innings. This is a full game. You get the win. If you're Cheryl Milligan, you're trying to get on these lights. I think 4 full innings is a complete. 5 full innings in softball is a complete game. Thanks, Mackenzie Collier. So you've played 5 full innings. This would be a complete game if they cannot figure out the lighting situation. Again, Army takes on BU this weekend. Don't forget Rich DeMarco on the call for that. I'm sure everyone's going to watch in anticipation. Five-4 in the top of the 6th. The infield lights currently the issue. Cheryl Milligan working with the ops rep Amanda Johnson to find a solution. So again, we talked about Army BU softball. A couple of the games going on this weekend. You got Army and Bucknell baseball. Down here is you got some calisthenics going on in the infield. So the Army softball team staying warm. Both baseball and softball teams have what now appear like dance patterns, as the baseball bullpen will do dance patterns about the middle of the 5th inning up at the baseball diamond. Army softball, some body squats, as it looks like Casey Donaldson doing push-ups in the outfield. LaRusso, toe touches. Klepfer, the same thing. Still no sign of the lights powering on. Oh, I guess this is the equivalent of the 7th inning stretch. Army Bucknell baseball this weekend. The Sunday game will be streamed unless the Army women's lacrosse team is home in the quarterfinals. They're hoping they're not. So Army women's lacrosse, if they beat Lafayette on Friday, you can see that game here on ESPN+. If they win and Loyola beats Navy, both likely outcomes, or both, you can say Army and Loyola are the favored to win their matchups. Army will be the 2 seed because they knocked off Navy last weekend. Army men's lacrosse in action at BU this weekend on Friday. BU's already clinched the regular season title. Army with a win over BU. If Army beats BU, then they need Loyola to beat Lehigh to be the 2 seed. Any win, then they would be the 3 or the 4. They could not fall to 5. If they lose, they can fall to 5. There's a guy coming from Hollader to turn the lights on, so it might be a while. So this might be a little bit of a lengthier delay than originally anticipated. Longest softball game I think I've ever had here. It was a doubleheader, and it was when the legendary Matty Salvani was the SID. As it was Army and Colgate. It was a midweek doubleheader after they had to make up a weekend game that was in the rain. The first game went 10 innings. And it was to the point where it was dark here. I think we started at 4 and didn't get out of here until around 10. Kat Kastner was the Colgate SID at the time. She would then eventually come on here to Army and was the football / baseball / men's basketball SID. She then moved on to Duke, where she was the football primary. That was one of the longer days at the Army softball complex. This only a single game, though, as a very appropriate all of the lights playing in the background. Wind continuing to whip as, again, we're waiting for a facilities member to come down from Hollader to get the lights on here. So Army softball against BU, I think, will be our final softball broadcast of the year, because Army on the road for the final weekend of the regular season. And like we said, BU 23 wins in a row. They're well on their way to hosting yet another Patriot League tournament. As we're coming to the end of the 2021-2022 year, with graduation under a month away here at West Point. It would be the same weekend as the baseball championship series. So obviously the day of those games, if Army is hosting, it would be greatly dependent on what day graduation is, what they would be able to play. Obviously that Saturday is a whole wipe because of graduation. Still no sign of the lights coming on. Well, when the lights do get on, it will be Robichaux, and then Updegraff and Warren due up for Fairfield. Hey, there we go. Lights are on. Let's play softball. I should have timed that delay. Could have been longer, though. So, again, it feels like ages ago. Oh, no. Oh, yep, they're back. I just, all I hope is someone's not fussing with the wires back there. So Duong, like I said, what felt like eons ago, Duong, the new pitcher, Klepfer, the new catcher. Top of the 6th, 5-4. Probably about a 15-minute delay, so not too bad. Could have been worse. That's why I'm a proponent of starting games at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Don't have to worry about the lights. So we are
Leading off for the Stags, number 12, Madison Robichaux.
So Robichaux steps in top of the 6th. We are back underway. As Duong, her first pitch, bunted fair. And that's going to go 4-2, or 2-4 I should say, for the first out of the inning on Robichaux's bunt attempt.
Number 5, Haley
One down.
Updegraff.
That'll bring up the graph. Duong deals to Updegraff a strike. Oh, and 1. Now 1-1. One. Just missed for ball 2. Count 2-1 to Haley Updegraff. Two one. Foul tipped at the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Duong deals, swung on and missed, strike 3. Updegraff down on strikes for the second out.
Number 3, Charlie Warren.
That'll bring up Charlie Warren. Duong deals to Warren. Grounded to short. Little can't get there. It's going to sneak into center field for a 2-out single.
Number 23, Caitlin Hoffman.
That'll bring up Caitlin Hoffman here in the top of the 6th with 2 down. Swing and a miss. Runner goes. The throw knocked down by Little. A stolen base for Warren. Count 0-1. Duong deals the 0-1. 0-2. Duong deals in the dirt, blocked by Klepfer. Jolie Duong, after her started as the DH, moves her way to pitchers. It's fouled into the net. 1-2. One, two. Got her to swing on the high pitch, strike 3, and the side is retired. 5.5 innings in the books. It is 5-4 Fairfield. Army coming to bat in the top or the bottom of the 6th, looking to even the game or take the lead. We'll be back. You're watching Patriot League Softball on ESPN+.
It's not really about the notes. I want them to find the music and make it their own.
I will push you. I will test you. I'll demand everything you've got. What do you get? Everything I have.
Today, I'm a captain on the Army West Point football team. Tomorrow, I strive to lead winning teams.
Today, I study to excel in the classroom. Tomorrow, I can reach for the stars.
Today, I am leading cadets during summer training. Tomorrow, I will be ready to lead soldiers on the battlefield.
Today, I lead with character as the brigade commander. Tomorrow, my possibilities are endless. West Point, where leaders are made.
The Patriot League is dedicated to the development of the student athlete through excellence in athletic competition, challenging academics, and contributing within their communities. The League's mission is to promote leadership while encouraging and celebrating our student athletes for standing against racism and using their voices for positive social change. We are today's scholar athletes. We are tomorrow's leaders. We are the Patriot League.
Zuck Daily back on ESPN+. Bottom of the 6th, it's going to be LaRusso, Caldwell, and then Donaldson, who took over for Mitchell, as LaRusso takes high. 1-0. LaRusso scored back in the second after she led off the inning with a single. Maddie Wilson, the 1-0. Upstairs, 2-0. Army trailing by 1. Would love to get at least 1, ideally 2 in this inning. 2-0. Grounded to second. Rubin over to first. 1 down.
The second baseman, number 23.
That'll bring up Ellie Caldwell.
Caldwell.
First pitch to Caldwell upstairs from Wilson. 1-0 the count. Ellie Caldwell also singled and scored back in the second. One out. Up and away, 2-0. Two out. 2-1, catches the outside corner. Wilson deals the 2-1, swung on, driven to center field. Wind might have held that one up a bit. It's caught out there in center by Hoffman. Caldwell got a good piece of it, but I think the wind killed that, as it looks like it was carrying towards the gap and then just hung up a bit. Casey Donaldson.
Your attention, please. Up to bat, the left fielder, Casey Donaldson.
Casey Donaldson replaced Brooke Mitchell. This one lifted out to center. Hoffman coming in. The wind definitely knocked that one down, as Hoffman had to come in a couple of steps to make the catch for the final out of the inning. A 1-2-3 inning for Fairfield. We head to the 7th. You're watching Patriot League Softball on ESPN+.
Lucky for me, there's some great golf here in the Carolinas. Whether you golf or not, Geico could help you score some great savings on car insurance. Whoa! Oh, hole in one.
Geico. See all the ways you could save.
Oh, I want ice cream.
Seriously?
I'm gonna drive to get my ice cream.
No, you're not. Play with this.
No, I'm driving.
Really? Drinking and driving? How old are you?
I'm a big boy.
Getting the incredible iPhone 13 without T-Mobile makes as much sense as playing hide and seek.
Ready or not, here I come!
In the desert.
Really, guys?
T-Mobile has more 5G bars in more places. And now, when you switch, you can get iPhone 13 on us and 1 year of Apple TV Plus for free.
You're not gonna fit in that hole.
Don't look any further. Unlock the full power of iPhone 13 on us at T-Mobile.
The BK $5 Your Way meal is here to make your choice easy and so tasty. Go straight to the Double Whopper Jr. with piping hot small fries, 4-piece crispy nuggets, and a refreshing small drink. Can you believe you get all this for only $5? The $5 Your Way meal, only at Burger King.
Army number 30, Julia Ferris.
Julia Ferris moves over to third base for the Black Knights, as Duong deals. Swing and a miss, strike one. As Forbes swings through the first pitch. Forbes 1 for 3. Army trying to keep this as a 1-run deficit here in the 7th. A pitch, a called strike. 0-2. In the dirt, 1-2. The 1-2. Outside, 2-2. Duong deals the 2-2. Lined into center. LaRusso is there. 1 out here in the 7th.
Number 17, Casey Sekula.
Pitch, a called strike. One the count. Duong deals the 1-1. High pop up. Little is there. Makes the catch for the second out. a little eventful. Anything that is popped up or a deep fly ball, the wind is getting a hold of and knocking around up there.
Number 8, Michaela Rubin.
That'll bring up Michaela Rubin. Swing and a miss, strike one. Rubin swung through the outside pitch, 0-1. Duong deals the 0-1. A called strike, 0-2. The 0-2 is in the dirt as Rubin takes a ball. Sacrifice bunt drove in a run in the first, singled last time up in the fifth. Duong's 1-2. Popped up foul. It will just make the seats. One ball and two strikes to Michaela Rubin. Just outside, 2-2. Two balls, two strikes, two outs. Fairfield up by 1, 5-4, top 7. Line drive into center field. LaRusso is there. And a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the 7th. Army needs at least one in the bottom half. We'll be back. You're watching Patriot League Softball on ESPN+.
Ladies and gentlemen.
PTI, I need the PDF, COB, aka EOD. What's the ETA?
ASAP, FYI.
See my IM?
TLDR.
What?
Too long, didn't read.
We don't need any more acronyms, but we could all use more ways to save.
DMX, YOLO!
Oh, I want ice cream.
Seriously?
I'm gonna drive to get my ice cream.
No, you're not. Play with this.
No, I'm driving.
Really? Drinking and driving? How old are you?
I'm a big boy.
I'm defeated, feel mistreated. I'm so angry, I'm singing a song. 'Cause I'm paying so much for home internet, and that's just wrong.
I've got T-Mobile home internet. I feel happy.
Great.
Very happy.
Good for you.
Look how much money I'm saving right now.
Wait, really?
There's no hidden fees, no price hikes, one cord.
Bro,
Introducing T-Mobile 5G home internet. Just $50 a month. It's that simple.
The BK $5 Your Way meal is here to make your choice easy and so tasty. Go straight to the Double Whopper Jr. with piping hot small fries, 4-piece crispy nuggets, and a refreshing small drink. Can you believe you get all this for only $5? The $5 Your Way meal, only at Burger King.
Matty Wilson deals a strike to Jolie Duong. 0-1 here, bottom of the 7th. Duong, Edwards, and Hurst, top of the order, due up for the Black Knights. This one a lazy fly ball into left, but right there is Warren for the first out.
The right fielder, number 3, Kayla Edwards.
That'll bring up Kayla Edwards. She's got the big hit for the Black Knights, a 2 RBI double back in the second. As Wilson deals outside. 1-0. And that one is off of Edwards. And the tying run is on board. It was only, I was wondering, did that hit off the nub of the bat? That'll bring up Leela Hurst. And Hurst with the power to make this a 6-5 Army win. The only thing going against her is that wind. You'd have to hit a low stinger that gets out of here in a hurry to have the best chance of hitting one out. Pitch misses downstairs, 1-0. Klepfer should be on deck unless they re-enter Maddie Wilkes into the game. 1-0. Fly ball into right field. Right there is dropped out in right. That's going to be an E7, and the winning run is aboard. As Michaela Klepfer now with a chance to tie the game on a base hit. Army threatening here in the bottom of the 7th. That wind is causing havoc out there. Pitch outside. 1-0. Wilson trying to get out of this jam. Deals a strike. One ball, one strike, one out. The 1-1. Upstairs, 2-1. Does Army have some 7th inning magic in them? Klepfer is ahead 2-1. Swing and a miss. Big pitch there by Wilson, 2-2. The 2-2. Popped up in foul territory. Catch is made by Forbes, 2 down.
The shortstop, number 22.
That'll bring up Lauren Little.
Little.
Little with 2 down is Army's last chance. Has to keep the inning alive to get, whether she walks, gets a hit, has to get on base to keep this game going. Little swings and fouls it off. 0-1. The 0-1. Grounded. Knocked down at second. Over to first for the final out of the game as Rubin handles the hard hit grounder by Little. The 5 runs in the first are enough for Fairfield. They take this one 5-4 over the Black Knights as Army couldn't claw all the way back in this one. The Black Knights are in action this weekend against Boston University. The first 2 games can be seen here on ESPN Plus Saturday. It's a doubleheader. Again, the world-famous Rich DeMarco on the call for those 2 games. Once again, your final score from the Army softball complex. It's Fairfield 5 and Army 4. Thanks for watching. This has been Patriot League Softball on ESPN Plus.